Hello, my name is Nick Robinson, creator of the Pilgrims of Rao tabletop role-playing game and game core guidebook. In this video, I answer the three big questions about the project. Number 1, what is Pilgrims of Rao? Number 2, why am I seeking funding on Kickstarter? And number 3, why should you support my product? Before I get to that, I'd like to start off by telling you a bit about the game's development and myself. I am a distinguished English graduate from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in my hometown. I'm an avid writer, gamer, and content creator who wants to make new, innovative games. I've been designing pencil and paper games for my friends since I was a kid. I remember staying up late at night with papers all over my room, plotting maps, character sheets, enemies, and more. I designed scenarios in my video games, built challenges for our miniatures, and wrote more stories than I could fit in my binders. Pilgrims of Rao is the first chance I've had to share my passion for game creation with the rest of the world. Pilgrims of Rao has been in development for over a year now, with months of public testing and evolution, and I've had the pleasure of working with many wonderful, talented artists without whom this project would not be what it is today, and I am thrilled to finally be able to share all of our hard work with you. So, what is Pilgrims of Rao? Pilgrims of Rao is a multiplayer fantasy tabletop role-playing game for 2 to 9 players, featuring randomly generated game worlds that provide a unique experience every time the game is played. In the world of Pilgrims of Rao, humanity teeters on the brink of extinction after a failed attempt to usurp the gods millennia ago left only scattered pockets of survivors around the world. Players take on the role of humans, create and customize their characters, and set off on an epic quest to rediscover the legendary fallen human capital of Rao. Players will explore the world, encounter devious traps and wicked monsters, and uncover the secrets left behind by those who dared to face the gods. Players succeed in their quest and clear the game by surmounting the final, greatest challenge of Rao itself. The game is played in sessions of varying length, depending on the objective chosen at the start of each session, or at player discretion. This can be as little or as much time as you like. I recommend playing for at least 15 to 30 minutes, with 30 minutes to 90 minutes being the ideal session length. Game sessions can connect to one another, as is the case when playing a campaign. Campaigns are a series of long-term gameplay objectives interwoven with narrative, typically played with a persistent group of people. Scenarios are specific world states meant to be completed in a single session. Players begin a session by determining if they will play a long-term campaign or a shorter-term scenario. The campaign or scenario determines a soft conclusion for the game session. The game is intended to end once the stated objective is completed, but players can choose to continue playing in that world state if they wish. Players can choose to continue an existing, unfinished game as well. Next, players either create a new character or pick up one that they have already created. Characters have many customizable fields to make each one unique. You have your class, abilities, origin, skills, vocation, and more. Combine that with the procedurally generated loot you can find in the game, and the possibilities are nearly limitless. Player characters progress toward an objective by completing encounters. Encounters come in 3 varieties: combat encounters, communication encounters, and exploration encounters. Combat encounters throw you into the heat of battle to claim honor, glory, and loot. Communication encounters steer you into the dark waters of political intrigue, investigation, trade deals, and more. And exploration encounters pit the player against nature. It sounds innocent enough until you're climbing active volcanoes and leaping across shattering glaciers. Encounters are fast-paced and full of surprises. Any one could be your last, or the one for which your legend is remembered. One false step and a critical hit could spell your doom in battle. Or, you could be lucky and become the first person to ever set foot on top of the Stormgrave Spire. It takes a little bit of strategy, cooperation, and luck with the dice. If you have ever played a game like Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder, you know what to expect from a role-playing game at this point. But Pilgrims of Rao approaches the classic genre in a brand new way. Rao uses a game engine that I developed specifically for this project. This engine uses intuitively simple equations to randomly generate everything in the play session, from the enemies to the entire region that the session takes place in. You will never play the same game twice, and it doesn't use the standard DM position. There is no need for an additional player to serve as the dungeon master or game master, as it will always be players against the game. The engine has been carefully balanced and play tested to ensure that it is fun at all levels of game experience. I like to think of it as combining the freedom of a traditional role-playing game with the structure of a video game or board game. The main tool players use to play this game is the Pilgrims of Rao core guidebook, the focus of the Kickstarter campaign. The guidebook is 8.5 by 11 inches, soft cover, with over 100 pages of full-color illustrated content. New players can pick up a copy and get right into a game session with veterans. A unique legacy system that I will discuss more in other videos keeps player level cycling, and combined with session objectives, no player is ever left out. All you need to play is a pencil, paper, 3 dice, and a guidebook. So, if the game has already been tested and has most of its content developed, why look for funding on Kickstarter? Kickstarter offered the best platform to get the most content out to my customers at the lowest cost for them. I know that gaming can be an expensive hobby, but it does not have to be. I want to keep prices low, provide content for you without breaking your budget. A traditional print run would cost magnitudes more, forcing me to jack up the price per unit and losing a lot of potential customers. Without customers, I have no player base, and I want you to play my game. Until now, I have funded this entire project personally. There's only so far you can go with that, and now I've hit my limitations. My methods are as cost-effective as possible, and my funding goal is relatively low. I have a great product that is almost done, and I need your help to complete it. Which brings me to the final question. Why should you support this project? By backing the project on Kickstarter, you will get a wealth of content for even less money than the already generous retail offerings. You'll get access to special backer-only content, bundles you won't find anywhere else, and first access to the book once production is complete. The Pilgrims of Rao core guidebook is only the beginning. I have several stretch goals and backer goals laid out for the project that will make your pledges even more valuable to you. I will create more books in the future and provide extensive post-launch support for my players. So you're not just spending money on a game, you are investing it for continued rewards. And that is everything in a nutshell. If this sounds like your kind of game, please check out Pilgrims of Rao on Kickstarter and help back the project. If you want to help out in another way, share this video on social media or with your friends. A trial version of the beta from a few months back is available online for free. You can find that link below on the Kickstarter page. Whether or not you can back the project, I'd love to have you play my game. I'm Nick Robinson, and this has been an introduction to the Pilgrims of Rao tabletop role-playing game and the Rao Core Guidebook Kickstarter project. See you later, adventurers.